Angela here. I was I have been following a gentleman that I do not know at all. He is from a state that I have a lot of family from, and I do consider because I was a military family and we moved a lot. I don't have like a specific place where I have a home. So other than where I'm at now, where I've been 20 years now, but he is of the state of Texas. He resides in Houston, from what I know, is this is where his main home is. But he's about 10 to maybe 15 years older than me. But he was a Navy SEAL, and I honestly I stumbled upon this gentleman purely by accident. He popped up in my recommended list of things to watch on YouTube, and I actually skipped over his video because I had been watching like a lot of military Afghan kind of. Sorry guys, I just woke up, so I look like crap. But anyways, I watched the video that had been like shown to me to recommended to watch, and literally I heard his story, and which is it's not. I mean, it's a typical story because it's he was military, and the things that happen when you go into battle are typically like you hear, but the amount of abuse that he took and has survived is absolutely unbelievable. His name is Marcus Luttrell, and like I said, he's in Houston, Texas, and he has a wife named Melanie, and he has 2 to 3 kids. He has a little girl, a little boy, and if I'm correct, he might have an older son, and he's probably around almost around between 43 and 45. So this guy, right? He gets put on an operation called Red Wing, and this operation was taken on by like 4 to maybe like 6 guys, and he was a medic from what I know, and they went in to get intel and like see about identifying a major terrorist of the Taliban in Afghanistan, and they were ambushed by like 200 Taliban soldiers, and I mean open gunfire, pure pretty much pure torture. Just they were each of his men were taken out very slowly and very violently. I mean, one of his very good friends from one of his buddies and brothers in arms was actually shot in the back and put to death um, through one of the soldiers that was part of the Taliban. And I mean, the way that his fellow brothers had gone down and died over there in Afghanistan, and the things he had to do from I mean, I literally like I've been watching every video of his for like the past week and a half, and I've been going over there's 3 parts to this Republican political stance that he's taking on safety and protection and just overall freedom in this country. Um and I've literally watched them like the three. There's one clip of him standing at the podium talking about, oh, we need an elite military, which I've always said that. I've always thought that, dude, with the things that have gone on in my life and what court case I'm going through right now and how I've done nothing, and even the past court cases and convictions that I have, that it's like I can't even begin to explain how I feel. That I've always said, dude, what is up? Like either we have a breach in our protection agency, or there's something massively wrong. And but anyways, if you ever get a chance, check him out on YouTube. Just type in Marcus, Marcus Luttrell, Luttrell. Just the first one that pops up, just pick it and just like watch it. Just like literally just listen to what he has to say. As long as it's a decent one, it's about the operation and what happened, and just or even if it's a political stance that he has. But like I said, this gentleman absolutely, I mean, from a female point of view, he's a very good looking man. But I mean, the atrocities and the pain and suffering that this gentleman went through, not even by just like, I mean, he had cerebral damage done. He had to go through rehabilitation. He was shot multiple times. He was literally forced, like he had fallen off of over off a mountain and broke his pelvis, was paralyzed, literally had to crawl and drag himself 7 miles to water. Finally, after God knows how long, he was rescued by a villager in Afghanistan, and 5 days later ish, he was picked up by the United States military and brought home and put through, some surgeries to fix, major shrapnel, and just broke his nose, bit his tongue off, and swallowed it, and almost choked to death. I mean, the things that this gentleman, and like I said, you know, my brother, I have a brother, and you can check him out. Rick Lawrence, I think it is, or Richard Lawrence. I'm not sure which one it is, because my dad is the same name, but they're two. Like, I think my brother's is Rick Lawrence and my dad's is Richard Lawrence, on YouTube. And my brother has epilepsy, and he's been through kind of the same things that I mean, because of his epilepsy, he can never serve as a soldier in the United States military. But I mean, and like I said, I'm not saying my brother's a bad kid or a bad guy, but I mean, he was always like, he never really cared that much about protecting his life with epilepsy, or he always seemed like he just didn't care, but maybe that's his right. I don't know. But like I said, I just wanted to talk about, the safety in our country, and I wanted to voice my opinion and my stance on the situation that I'm in and what I've been going through since I was 15 in this state. That I love this state that I'm in. I live in the state of Illinois, and Christmas, to have snow for Christmas, which is one of my favorite things. But depending on my life and anyone if I ever meet the man of my dreams, or a woman or whatever, it's like the snow doesn't really matter as long as I'm happy and my family's happy or whatever. But like I said, the state of Illinois is a beautiful state, and if you ever get a chance to come visit, go to Chicago and spend a Christmas, um, just enjoying the cold in a hot cup of coffee or cocoa, and by a fire, and just like I said, Illinois is a beautiful state, but because of the things that I've been going through, that I fully do not understand why I've had to go through the things that I've gone through. And as much as I've tried to keep down my emotional state and just how I feel and stuff like that, it's been, given the court case that I'm going through right now, it's been very hard to keep my wits about myself. And I'm trying all the time, but it's like, I've been arrested 6 times now. Four of them currently were convicted, and I was on probation and stuff like that and fined. But I've never been physically like put in jail for an actual sentencing. But like I said, I was a conflict manager. I still am a very good child or woman, and I do whatever I can to help people. But the court case that I'm in right now, and this is just blatantly not going to go into details, because the things that I know that I may never be able to explain or prove to anyone, don't need to be said. Whether they are proven later that they didn't mean anything or whatever. But like I said, it's just, I stood before the judge yesterday, and in the courtroom this Christmas, and I was there to get a no contact order that was put on me between my brother, who is clinically just an asshole. He's just a very mean person, and whether it is due to his epilepsy and his fear of his life or whatever, it doesn't allow anyone to act the way that he does. And I was blatantly, I mean, the way that this judge looked at me, and I was literally respectful, standing there quiet, and because of how many times I've been before a judge, I didn't disrespect him, but I did. I had something that I literally physically could not stop myself from just speaking, and then I had realized that I needed to speak to my lawyer to speak to the judge. But anyways, this man was blatantly rude. He was disrespectful, the way that he looked at me and talked to me, and the personnel, the defense, even my own attorney, the lady that was the little whatever, the typist or whatever. I mean, it's just the disrespect that I felt on Christmas Day by this judge, and this courthouse that I literally have kicked ass in freshman year. And if you look at the high school that I went to, they've changed the symbol of the Belvedere Bucks, which used to be just a buccaneer with like the eye patch and the pirate hat and stuff, but now it is actually a skull and crossbones, which is the symbol that I have tattooed in the middle of my back. But mine's with pigtails and little like skull and crossbone barrettes because I'm a girl. But like I said, it's just to sit here and watch this gentleman, stand up and fight more for this country. I haven't seen something like this in years, and it gives me a lot of pride back in my nation. But with what I'm going through, it's hard to stand up and really speak, um, other than how I feel of how this nation was run when I was very little. The officers that are probably no longer around because I'm 34 instead of 5 or 6. The protection that was enforced when I was little, as a very beautiful child, and would a child that would definitely be set up to be kidnapped. I mean, in the worst way. It's just, or something like that. It's just to watch him and to know the pain that I know, and to feel the way that I felt these last 5 years in my apartment, and the year that I was homeless, and the things that I've been going through with the damage that I've caused because of severe pain in very sensitive areas of my body. And like I said, if you check out Angel Sky Channel, I'm Angel, and if you check out Angel Sky Channel, if you check out the first, literally the first videos that I posted, you'll know about a pain problem that I've been having. And I've had a colonoscopy. I've seen doctors. I've talked to psychiatrists. Whether it's mentally, physically, emotionally, whatever is causing this, or it's someone else or whatever, or an object, whatever it may be. It's like, it's just, I wanted to speak in a political sense about, which I've been wanting to do for a long time, about our safety and protection in this country. And as a child, as a beautiful woman that I am, and who I am, and the things, with whatever's gone on in my life, and stuff like that, it's just, this man really amazes me on the things that he had to suffer through, and the pain that he still to this day goes through, remembering having to get up and talk about these things, and stand for safety and protection, when I'm pretty sure he doesn't feel safe at all. And to know that the people that did this to him are still out there. And it's just, you really got to think about it. You really got to look at yourself, and no matter whether you're beautiful or not beautiful, or nice or not nice, as long as you are legally allowed to be in this country and be an American or a civilian or a resident, and whether you've been found out to do this or that, it's like, you really have to listen to this gentleman, and watch and understand what he's been through. You have to take it upon yourself in this world to constantly protect in some sort of way yourself and your family and your home. You can never expect, if you're not going to protect your home or yourself or your kids and your husband or your wife, you cannot expect an officer or a military personnel to come over and remove a burglar or a robber or a murderer from your home. Because if you're not willing to stand up, whether you're a criminal or not, but you're legally allowed to live free in this country, and protect yourself and your home and your objects or your material things, then you don't deserve to be protected. It's like, we're used to sitting here and being like, oh, the police have it, and if they don't patrol right, we're going to yell at them and convict them or whatever. Because I did go in and end up talking to a man and a woman officer, some years ago, and then I ended up talking to the chief of police. His name is Jan Noble. He's retired now, which is very sad. When I was arrested, I was told, just before I came into holding an intake, that he had retired a year before, and I was absolutely stunned. I was surprised, and I was like, I just started bawling. Like, I couldn't stop. I cried for probably like 30 minutes, literally like laying on the mat in the holding cell that I was in for 24 hours, because I was only kept there for a day, but on a recognizance bond that I'm still on. And I literally, like, I cried so hard just not feeling him. He's been with us for so long. It's just it was hard, but like I said, if you're not going to protect yourself, in at least a way that legally and rightfully how to safely protect yourself, from danger, then you don't deserve to be protected. You don't deserve to have a man like Marcus Luttrell go through the things that he went through to come in and get shot again for you, or stand up against, his own mother when, it's just things like that. You don't, if you're not going to, it's 2018 and the type of people that are out there, you have to take it upon yourself nowadays to help the community and your departments and your military to protect yourself even a little bit until help arrives or something like that. So I'm just saying, I'm going to get out of here. It's like we're at 15 minutes and like 54 seconds right now. So I'm going to get out of here. Definitely check this guy out. Definitely follow him. Donate to his Lone Survivor Foundation. Let him know if you ever get to talk to him that he's an amazing man and that you're thankful for what he's been through, and his family and his kids and anyone that supports him. Thank you, Marcus Luttrell, for everything that you've done and what you've been through. I'm Angel, or you can call me Mary or Mary Lawrence. I will talk to you guys later. I haven't been doing politics with Angel because I've been very busy. I've kind of forgot. It's a newer part of my channel. I'm adding a lot of new stuff to this channel. So check out Angel's Magic School. I'm creating new pieces for that to teach you guys about magic and the craft and how to get into it and be your own witch and manifest your own dreams and wishes in your life. And peace out. God bless and blessed be.